Welcome, everyone, to tonight's Skeptic Bible Study, Episode 12, Joseph's Big Reveal. In this episode, Joseph's brothers fetch their youngest sibling, then head back to Egypt for some divine drinking cup magic and a big revelation bash party by the hostess with the mostess himself, Joseph, the new father of Pharaoh. So come join us for some good old Bible family fun. We break our Skeptic Bible study into two segments. The first half, the host will read a chapter or two along with the annotations on the side. Don't mind if we take a less than literal interpretation of characters' names. However, everything else on the page will be left as is, or meshed together via committee. Either way, at a certain point, we will switch into our open mic format in which anyone can join the conversation. Look for the link in chat and come on join our Skeptic Bible Study. Or send me your questions, comments, or thoughts by tagging me at Amy Newman. All right, everyone, don't only hit that like and subscribe button, but don't forget to hit that all button so you can come for our live reminders. With that, let's see what's on the menu. Before we begin, I'm going to start by going over the specific Bible we'll be reading, along with some helpful category marks. Categories, you say? Why, yes I do. You see, we're going to be reading from the Skeptic's Annotated Bible, an entire King James Bible lovingly fawned over by a skeptic who decided he would add his own notations. These are little flagpoles of sanity put in use to remind us that, hey, maybe slavery is evil, including categories like absurdity, injustice, and cruelty, but also a good amount of intolerance, contradictions, and conflicts with science or history. That doesn't mean it's not packed full of misogyny, false prophecy, and some questionable biblical family values. Now, we won't skip the good parts that the Bible has, only that these passages seem far fewer in number than any priest or pastor seems to suggest. So without further ado, won't you come join the Skeptic crew? Woohoo! How are you? And are you ready for an identity reveal party?
I am. I'm anxious to see the gender of the baby. Learn what its name is, and then the circumcision will follow shortly thereafter. The mutilation of the genitalia, as you would do.
Oh boy, yeah.
Woohoo!
Right into the excitement.
Some Yahweh love and fun. Praise God. Praise Jesus.
Praise Jeebus. And I just want to also send a hey and I love you to everyone in chat. Hi, Doorknob, Iron Charioteer, Ian, hey at the cross, hey Harry, woohoo, hey everybody. And okay, where do you remember what was going on last time? He was seems like Joseph was working through slavery, and then the Pharaoh, after having a good old birthday bash, killed a guy, and then killed that baker guy, and then ended up promoting Joseph to the Pharaoh's father, I guess, and becoming king of Egypt-ish.
Prime minister, I guess, or whatever the term would be. Second in command to Pharaoh. So remember, nobody has any grain anywhere else except in Egypt, and Joseph is in charge of all that. So Joseph's family, the brothers that placed him gingerly in the pit, are sent to Egypt to buy grain from them. And if you'll remember, Joseph recognizes them and he has them locked up, tells them they're spies, and he tries to get them to go back to get their youngest brother who wasn't with the crew. So he takes one of the brothers and keeps him locked up, but the rest of them are allowed to go back on the understanding they can come back and get the other brother when they bring the other brother. And
he's playing games.
Yeah, then if you remember, Joseph also had the money that they paid him for the grain put back into the bags of grain that they took home. So when they got back, they had the grain, and then they opened up the sacks, and there's also money in there that they paid for it. So Jacob then thinks, God's fucking with us. What's going on here? God is messing with us. Maybe he's pissed off about that Italian wrestling match we had.
Yeah. Or the girl who laughed with God. No. Though she's dead.
Yeah, she died. And the man who pulled out of the girl, he's also
yes. Dead. Once again, also dead. Also, hey, Titan Uranus. And okay. So, we are at the book of Genesis, chapter 43. Probably only an episode or two left, and we are done Genesis.
Seems like we just started, doesn't it?
Seems like we just started, and we will be out of our first book.
And then we'll have a kind of a recap episode where we just hit the key points from Hey Iron Charioteer, where we hit the key points from every chapter and kind of stitch it all together and look at all this amazing wisdom in this book. And let me tell you, I know it's knocked Amy's socks off with all the wisdom that you're getting out of this. The real life applications and the wisdom in this book is just amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing how this stuff doesn't seem to be quoted more in Bible studies or Sunday schools. I feel like the next time that you have a sermon, if you're not talking about Donald's favorite butt babies, or you're talking about having a guy come and then or pull out, I'm sorry, and
why aren't they teaching
God
that in
slay
Christian
him?
sex ed?
Yeah, they should be
Christian
teaching that.
sex ed.
And okay.
So when you are having sex, boys and girls, make sure that you do not spill any on the ground, because that would be very bad for you, because God would not like that. And he will slay you in any one of numerous weapons at his disposal.
Yeah, but he won't do it twice, okay? He kills you with water. He said he wouldn't do it again. I find it interesting that God said, I killed everyone, but I won't do it again with water.
Yeah, with water.
Okay. He didn't have to make that promise,
but
okay, sure.
Yeah, I mean, he's got an infinite number of ways to kill people, so...
Yeah. Infinite number.
Yep.
Yes. And okay, so let us begin. Jacob's latter sons return to Egypt. What's on the menu for the section? We got some good old-fashioned absurdity and some good old contradictions with itself. Which, I mean, can't ask for a good opener. Okay, and the famine was sore in the land. And it came to pass, when they had eaten up the corn, which they brought out of Egypt, their father said unto them, Go again, buy us a little food. Jacob and his sons ran out of corn, and they brought from Egypt. So Jacob said to his sons, Go back to Egypt and buy us a little food. Okay. And Judah spake unto him, saying, The man did solemnly protest, saying, Ye shall not see my face, except your brother be with you.
Yeah, Judah Jacob doesn't want to send the brother, the youngest, Benjamin.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the first smart thing I've heard in many chapters.
Yeah, but the thing is, they're not going to have any more corn, so, I guess that's the only thing on the menu, so, yeah. When you get hungry, you'll start to do funny things.
Sometimes you just gotta sacrifice people to get things done. Let's see. We will. If thou will send our brother with us, we will go down and buy thee food. But if thou will not send him, we will not go down. For the man said unto us, Ye shall not see my face, except your brother be with you. So the man said to us, I don't want your face, unless your little brother is with you. Always a non-creepy statement. Okay, if you'll let
And I guess
Benjamin
disguises
come-
are not an option. They're just like, well, he'll remember our face. Facial
He'll
recognition
remember
camera
our face.
technology.
Exactly. If you'll let Benjamin come with us, we'll go back to Egypt. If not, we won't. There you go. Bye-bye. And Israel said, his fancy new title, Wherefore dealt yet so ill with me? And as tell the man whether ye had a brother, Jacob, new name Israel, said, Why did you tell him about your brother? And they said, The man asked us straightly of your state and of our kindred, saying, Is your father yet alive? Have ye another brother? And we told him, according to the tenor of these words, could we certainly know that he would say, Bring your brother down? The 10 brothers, because if you remember, they got really, really, really happy a few chapters ago and mated like bunny rabbits, because the man asked about our family and about you, and if he asked if we had another brother. Coincidentally, he's like, wow, just 11?
Yeah,
Kind of a short party.
You would have thought that this guy's their brother, and he's asking them questions like he knows something, but it goes right over their head.
And hang
Like,
on.
oh,
I think Iron. I can understand why you'd think that.
They're very similar chapters.
Yeah. And I think at a certain point he makes an annotation that one of the stories is told twice. So
they're going back
may not
and forth
be your deja vu.
multiple trips to Egypt, and it's basically the same shit every time. So, yeah.
Okay.
Number 8, I think we're
number 8.
Oh no,
and
9.
Judah, 9.
9.
Okay. Right. Also, I just saw in chat, I want to send love out to you, Tara, and everyone else who wants to join and hang out. In fact, thank you for coming on tonight's Skeptic Bible study. Joseph's big reveal has to be a little bit extra. Whatever, that's his thing. Let Joseph be his own.
Gavin already had his big reveal.
Exactly, Gavin. I love you, Gavin. In fact, we're having a debate. Shout out to Gavin and praise having a debate this upcoming Friday. So be sure to send that. I'll get links out later for all that stuff.
It won't be in the pit here. It'll be in Praise's channel. So
no, it'll be in the pit that they sold the what's it called to Joseph to.
Yeah, this is the pit of hell, but yeah, another pit, another certain pit,
a pity pit, a pity pit's of pits that you pit around in. Okay, I'm not very punny. Anyway, I will be shorty for him. Oh, he's a shorty of my hand.
Shorty, that's a bail bondsman.
Oh,
a surety bond.
Thou require him. If I bring him not unto thee and set him before thee, let me bear the blame forever. For except we have lingered, surely now we had returned the second time. And their father Israel said unto him, I have to make a funnier name than that, as sexy as I can say. If it must be so now, do this, take the best fruits in the land in your vessels, and carry down the man a present, a little lip balm, and a little honey, spices. I'm going to go with myrrh, nuts, and almonds. And take double money, bling bling, in your hand, and the money that was brought again in the mouth of your sacks. Oh my. Carry it again in your hand. Para-adventure. It was an oversight. Take also your brother
yes.
in your sacks. Take also your brother, and arise. Go again unto the man. And God Almighty give you mercy before the man, and he may send away your brother and Benjamin. If I be bereaved of my children, I am bereaved. He's bereaved. And the men took the present, and they took double money in their hand, and Benjamin, and rose up, and went down to Egypt, and stood before Joseph. Always love to be redundant.
What's the big deal? Like, if why do they have to bring Benjamin? Couldn't they just bring any Joe Blow and say this is our long lost brother? I mean,
I know.
They could just find some guy sleeping under a palm tree, and just here he is.
Also, high at the cross. Well, I know we're having a good time. We're reading it. I say, hey, sometimes the theists give us the tizzy because they're like, oh, you guys just don't understand the
Have you read it?
Have you read it? Or my new favorite one is, where you're reading it literally, but you don't understand the context. That's my new favorite one.
So full of wisdom at the cross. Yeah. Just so much meaning here.
But if we're getting you wrong at the second half of the later half of the show, it's going to be open mic. We will send that link into stream. So if you have any thoughts, feelings, ideas, stream that consciousness over to us, and we'll have a good old conversation. So, all right. Where were we? Joseph saw men, and man did as Joseph had. And the man brought the men into Joseph's house. And the men were afraid, because they were brought into Joseph's house. And they said, because of the money that was returned in our sacks at the first time, are we brought in? And he may seek, I know, so many sacks, may seek, KOCE in the house.
KO Champ.
KO Camp.
KFC. It's very close to KFC.
I know. It's KFC. Whoops and wreck. Okay, where would it take us to? This is a good
18,
sentence.
Yeah,
I want to start
this
again.
Is a great one.
And the men were afraid because they were brought into Joseph's house. And they said, because of the money that was returned in our sacks at the first time, are we brought in, that he may seek occasion against us and fall upon us and take us for bondmen and our asses. Specifically,
their asses, yeah.
Yeah, specifically
their anuses. They're Titan anuses.
Yes, exactly. And they came near to the steward of Joe. I forgot this is Joe DiMaggio. I forgot Joe DiMaggio. Joe DiMaggio's house, and they communed with him in the door of the house, and said,
"That's what they're calling it, communing."
Oh, is that what they're calling it these days?
Yeah, they communed with him.
And said, "Oh, sir, we indeed come down at the first time to buy food." It would have been better if they just said, "Oh, I indeed come down." And it came to pass, when we came to the inn, we did, that we opened our sacks, and behold, every man's money was in the mouth of his sack, our money in full weight. And
in the mouth of the sack.
Once again, folks, we're just reading the Bible literally. I don't see where the fuss is here.
God's trolling you.
Having a good old time.
God is fucking with you.
Yeah,
he's fucking with you bad.
Sometimes it does feel like this.
Can we possibly work sacks into the word? Where can we use that word more? Just any place we can insert a sack.
And honestly, when we're not injecting sex into the Bible is giving us 5 different ways to say getting it on. So, woo-hoo.
One for each of the 43 dukes.
Exactly. Get that 43 dukes on. And other money we have brought down in our hands to buy food. We cannot tell who put our money in our sacks. And he said, "Peace be to you, fear not, for your God and the God of your father have given you treasure in your sacks." I mean, makes sense. I had your money, and he brought
There's a treasure in there.
Simon's
There's a treasure.
a treasure, and he brought Simon Says out onto them. The steward said to them, "Don't worry about it. Your God and the God of your father put the money in your sacks." He reached as deep as he could down there, and he put it in there, right in your sack. That's what they're trying to tell you.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
24?
And he said, "Peace to you." Did I read? Yes.
Oh, no,
Okay.
yeah.
24? Yeah. So
I
hard
think
to
so.
tell sometimes. And the man brought the men into Joe DiMaggio's house and gave them water. It was specifically Brita. And they washed their feet. And he gave their asses a great big provender. And they made ready the president. No. They made ready present against Joe DiMaggio came at noon. Wow. He is good timing.
He started early.
He started early, for they heard that they should eat bread there. Maybe he timed it that way. Maybe that's his thing. And
Bread's out of the oven. Where's the baker? Oh, he's dead. Sorry, the bread's burnt. New baker. You all know how that goes.
God, test that bread out for yourself. And they 26. And when Joe DiMaggio came home, they brought him the present, which was in their hand, into the house, and bowed themselves to the earth.
So they had something in their hand and they went into the house. Huh. Wonder what that could be.
Joseph, who still hasn't identified himself, provides a... Oh, okay. Well, look at that. All this... it's all this one passage for this. I jumped the gun. Here we go. And he asked them on their welfare and said, "In your father, well, the old man of whom ye speak, is he yet alive?" And they answered, "Thy servant, our father, is in good health. He is yet alive." And they bowed down their heads and made obeisance. And he lifted up his eyes and saw his brother bring in those Benjamins, his mother's son, and said, "Is this your youngest brother, of whom ye spake unto me?" And he said, "God be gracious unto thee, my son." And Joe
Now let me see your
DiMaggio,
sack.
Now let me see that sack. Woohoo! I know, that's a wonderful... I mean, we're not even taking that... that's what the Bible says.
Praise God. Praise Jesus.
Praise Jesus.
Praise I am that I am that I am.
Praise jealous, apparently. And Joseph made haste, for his bowels did yearn upon his brother.
He's got a IBS. He's like, "Sorry guys, I gotta go," and he's making a mad dash for the toilet. I'll be back.
Yeah. I know we're going to have a feast and all, but you guys have a toilet? And he sought where to weep, as you do on the toilet, as we've all done. Come on, we've all been there. And he entered into his chamber, and he wept there. And he washed his feet, BT dubs, and went out, and refrained himself, okay? And said, "Set out bread." This just seems like, okay. Weird explanation and exposition. And they set out for him by himself, and for them by themselves, and for the Egyptians, which did eat with him by themselves, because the Egyptians might not eat bread with the Hebrews, for that is an abomination unto the Egyptians. It's a little weird, but okay. And we got a little intolerance.
We can't be eating no bread around no Hebrews. R and Ra will kill us.
I know. And ISIS. Not the new, not this ISIS 2.0, the old ISIS. The god.
R and Ra, the sun god, Larry Nelson, whatever.
Yes. And they sat before him, the firstborn, according to his birthright, and the youngest, according to his youth. And the men marveled one at another. I bet they did. And he took and sent masses unto them from before him, but bringing them Benjamins, mess with 5 times so much as any of the others. And they drank and were merry with him. Ooh, but Benjamin got 5 times as his brother. Woo-hoo.
That's like Donald Trump, right?
I know.
Like all the servers are out there and they conspicuously give Benjamin way more than everybody else in like tough shit.
Yeah, tough shit with them. And so Jacob's sons returned back to Egypt. Went to Dad and we're like, hey, we kind of need our brother. And Dad was like, why? And was like, the stranger that we want food with was like, bring us your younger brother. Because, that's always the not non-creepy thing to do. And so...
as anybody would do that. It makes perfect sense.
Honestly.
I mean, clearly, this is the work of a supernatural, intelligent being, because this cannot be the work of man. Bronze Age man would never be able to come up with something like this, It's got to be God.
It's so exciting that, I can't imagine it being any other way. All right.
What are they going to do without that corn? They won't have popcorn in the desert. And Israel / Jacob would not be happy if he doesn't have popcorn. And asses and sacks. Yeah.
I need more lube in my thoughts. Come on, lube. Woo-hoo. Jacob's sons leave Egypt. So we are on the book of Genesis, chapter 44.
44 of 50. It's almost over. We got some injustice.
Yes. Here we go. Good old injustice. Everyone likes that on the side. So here we go. Jacob's latter sons leave Egypt. And he commanded the steward of his house, saying, fill the men's sacks with food, as much as they can carry, and put every man's money in his sack's mouth. Oh, baby. And put my cup, the silver cup. I think I've seen this before on Pornhub. In the sack's mouth of the youngest and his corn's money. And he did according to the word that Joseph had spoken. Man, they're just passing their cups around. Into their sacks.
Get ready for this one. Here you go, Amy.
As soon as the morning was light, the men were sent away, they and their asses. Whew. Feels good.
Get out of here and take your damn ass with you.
Take your damn sexy ass out of here. And okay. Joe DiMaggio's.
Where have you gone, Joe DiMaggio?
Divining cup? It almost looked like diving cup, but that's divining? Divining cup.
Yeah.
We divine things around here. All right. As always, we'll put on another helping of injustice, but we're back to the fun, people. We got some absurdities and some contradictions with ourselves, which is always what I like to do, because I would hate to do that. Anyway.
Like when it contradicts itself multiple times in the same verse, just for fun?
Yeah. Honestly, though, James, that would be redundantly redundant. But we don't like to be redundant, because that would be redundantly redundant. Okay. Anyway, and when they were going out of the city, and not yet far off, Joe DiMaggio said unto his steward, up, the movie was pretty good, but follow after the men, And when thou dost overtake them, say unto them, wherefore have ye rewarded evil for good? And it wasn't in an RPG game. Is not this in which my Lord drinketh, and where be indeed he divineth, yet have done evil in so doing? Wow, this is getting real Dungeons and Dragons-y on me.
Yeah, I don't remember hearing about this cup in Sunday school.
Yeah, I don't remember about the awesome drinking cup. I had to find that out in college. And he overtook them, and he spat onto them. Them same words. Them same words. He was spitting them out high. And the steward overtook them, and said the words that Joseph told him to say. And they said unto him, wherefore saith my Lord these words? God forbid thy servant should do according to this thing. I mean, this specific thing of all the things? The thingy thing?
This and only this.
This and only this.
That
Joseph's,
thing, that thing.
That thing. Joseph's brother responded, we did not take it. Shout out to that, I forget his name. Fucking indie movie. Behold the money which we found in our sack smells. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to read that sentence.
Thank you at the cross. That means a lot to me. That means a lot. I really, this is why we do this. Thank you so much.
Look, I just want to say it's always nice to have a fan. And they said to him, wherefore saith my Lord these words? God forbid that thy servant should do according... Oh, I said this. According to the thing. Okay, that was me being redundant this time. Behold, the money, which can be found in our sacks' mouths. We brought again unto thee out of the land of Canaan. Well, probably your feet did. But how then should we steal out of thy Lord's house? Silver or gold? What looks better with my skin tone?
So these brothers just bust out singing. They trying to catch us riding dirty. They gonna catch us riding dirty.
Riding dirty. And Etcher in the house.
She's been lurking. She's been just quietly watching.
We got the whole crew now. Behold the money which we found in our sacks. Okay, I said that, but I just like saying that sentence over and over. With whom's over? With whom's over? Of thy servants. Oh, sorry. I got a little slavery caught in my throat. It can be found, both let him die, and we will also be my Lord's bondmen.
Now, I wonder which brother's sack they're going to find that cup in. I wonder which one. Benjamin's.
And he said, now also let it be according unto your words. He with whom it is found shall be my servant, and ye shall be blameless. Then they speedily, very speedily, like the flash, took down every man his sack to the ground. Oh, baby, this just keeps getting hotter. And opened every man his sack. I'm going to read that again. Then they speedily took down every man his sack to the ground, and opened every man his sack. If you have been joining us, or just joined us, we're reading the Skeptic Bible study here with us, Joseph's Big Reveal, and we're reading the King James Bible.
So it sounds like they couldn't get their pants off fast enough.
I mean, there's a lot of guys reaching for everyone's sack around here. That's all I'm saying. I'm not actually complaining. So, I mean, hey. Having a good old time. Better than everyone dying, right?
Better than Sodom and Gomorrah, yeah. Yeah, better than that one.
Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay. And he searched and began at the eldest and left at the youngest. And the cup was found in bringing all those Benjamin's sack. Wow, they found him right in the sack.
Go figure. Benjamin.
Then they rent their clothes. Hey guys, you want to go rent some clothes?
Yeah, back to the renting clothes.
And I will say, after you have a night on town, you hang out with all your guys and get a little bit tipsy. Who doesn't want to go clothes shopping? I mean, this is sounding awesome. And laded every man his ass and returned to the city. Then they rent their clothes and laded every man his ass and returned to the city. Once again, this is the King James Bible, right? I feel like I want to flip over the King James Bible and be like, this is okay.
Yeah, so this is the real deal.
It's the real deal. This is not Skeptics making this up.
Yeah.
43 dukes and all. Okay. And Judah and his brethren came to... Can you imagine just like an anti-gay preacher reading this stuff out loud with a straight face? I would pay to see that too. That would be just as funny because I could probably cut the awkwardness with a knife.
Yeah, then you accidentally see his phone and you see Grindr or shit like that on there. Like our good buddy, the good Reverend Ted Haggard.
Ted Haggard.
Remember Teddy Haggard? Yeah.
Yes, Ted Haggard is
having gay meth sex with a male prostitute after your keep marriage between man and woman rally, as you would do. After
the thing is,
yeah.
I've heard this from a lot of straight guys. If you have sex with a guy just every once in a while, just keeps your marriage all nice and packed away. All right. That's what they tell me. That's what Ted Haggard tells me. Then they'll rent their clothes and laid it every... Oh, yeah, we go. I keep on loving that ass. I can't help it. And Judah and his brethren came to Joe DiMaggio's house, for he was yet there, and they fell before him on the ground. Look, buddy, we've been hearing that a lot. And Joseph said unto him, What deed is this that ye have done? Woe, ye not that such a man as I can certainly divine? Is this man not divine? Come on, I only kind of hang around with divine guys. And Judah said, I actually know someone named Divine you might like. There we go. And Judah said, What shall we say unto my Lord? What shall we speak? Or how shall we clear ourselves? I get you, clean up afterwards is hard. God hath found out the antiquity of thy slavery. Behold,
iniquity,
we are my Behold, we are my Lord's servants, both we and he also with whom the cup is found. Robert, and thank you.
Hey, Robert. We got KOC, we got Robert, Doorknob Head, the whole crew.
Woo-hoo. Iron.
And Iron, oh yeah, don't forget Iron. He triggers the theist. He really triggers those theist Iron Chariots.
Yes.
He gets them going.
I always see him in theist channels, which is a great thing. I need to go more often in other theist channels.
He brings the truth to them. They don't like it, but...
And okay. Joseph, well, am I reading Deja Vu? Did I go up? Did I go down? Hold the money in her sex. They rent the clothes. Yeah.
Go back. Yeah, go.
Okay. Where were we? Okay.
I think you're past it.
And it came to pass, our father. And our father said, Go again and buy us a little food. And we said, We cannot go down. If our youngest brother...
No, we're way past this, right? We're way past this.
No, I don't think so. Because this one thing is a long passage.
They're telling him the story. Okay, I got it.
Yes.
I thought it was the last chapter.
That's okay. And we said we cannot go down. If our youngest brother be with us, then we go down. We've been doing that a lot. And for we may not see the man's face, except our youngest brother's with us. And thy servant, my father, said unto us, You know, that my wife bare me 2 sons. Did you know that? And one went out with me. And I said, I did not know Surely. That. No, and stop calling me Shirley. He is torn in pieces. Excuse me. And I saw him not since. And if ye, excuse me too, this also from me, and mischief befall him. It happens to me too.
Ye shall bring down my gray hairs with sorrow to the grave. Now, therefore, when I come all over to the servant, my father, hey, whatever you want to call him, and
Hey.
the laid thee not
He's
with
got a
us.
daddy fetish.
Woohoo! It's okay. I understand. Seeing that his life is bound up in that lad's life, it shall come to pass. It happens. When he seeth, I just lost my words while I was reading it. And it shall come, and if it take this also from me, and mischief befall him. No. Now therefore I come to thee, my servant, my father. Keep on losing myself. Seeing this his life is bound upon the lad's life, it shall come to pass when he's seething, that the lad is not with us, and he will die. For thy servants shall bring down the gray hairs of thy servant our father with sorrow to the grave. For thy servant become shorty for the lad unto my father, saying, if he bring him not unto thee, then I shall bear the blame to my father forever. Now therefore I pray thee, let thy servant abide instead of a lad a bondman to my lord, and let the lad go up with his brethren. For how shall I go up to my father, and the lad be not with me, lest peradventure I see the evil that shall come on my father.
All over your father, baby. Woohoo.
Come all over my father. So we just read the book of Genesis, chapter 44. Woohoo! All right. So we had a fancy
What do you think about this chapter, Amy?
Well, I'm really glad they got
a magical cup.
A magical cup.
A magic cup.
What seemed like a lot of sack touching and clothes buying, which,
and asses
happens to the best of us.
Sacks and asses. Royal or divine asses and divine sacks.
Divine asses.
So Joseph, once again, he just continues to fuck with his brothers because he's like, hey, they threw me into a pit, so I'm just going to fuck with them around a little bit.
Might as well fuck with them a little bit.
So he plants a cup in their bags, and specifically Benjamin's, because that's the apple of their father's eye. And he's trying to test them to see if they will sell Benjamin out and just say, oh, well, it was in his sack, so I guess he stays with you, and we're out of here.
Yeah, bye.
But that wouldn't make for a good story, so I don't think that's going to happen. # spoiler alert. Praise God.
Spoiler alert. And okay, we're actually moving at a pretty good pace.
We are.
This is our big reveal. Do you want to make it open, Mike, you think, now or the chapter after?
How long is the chapter?
Let's take a look. It's a pretty big one. Well, it's a middle size.
You can post the link, and then when we're done with this chapter, let's start letting them in. Because, we're almost an hour in.
That's a good idea.
So this next chapter review, we can get input if anybody wants to come in.
All right. So then we're going to read our big reveal, and then I'll post the link, and we'll do one last after chapter as a wrap up. But okay, everyone.
Maybe at the cross wants to come in and tell us what about all the sex.
And in fact, although this is a skeptic themed channel, doesn't matter what you identify as, atheist, theist, conservative, liberal, come one, come all, come join, speak your mind. As long as everyone's pleasant, we will let you speak your mind. And
she won't bite.
I won't bite unless that's your thing. All right. So, the book of Genesis, chapter 45. We only have 5 more chapters left.
This is an important chapter, according to numerologists, because the great Donald Trump was the 45th president of the United States. So that means there's significance going to be in this chapter. See, God has a plan for everything. He doesn't do anything on a whim. He's got everything mapped out. Every atom in the universe has a precise plan, and you just have to trust in him, trust in his will.
Except when his plan messes up horribly, which it seems to do.
Free will, free willy, free willy.
Yes. In fact, someone should tell
new tagline for free will, free willy.
Free willy. Someone should actually tell us when Yahweh's plans go right, because we should just put that on the calendar. Like, Yahweh did something correct, and everyone ended up happy. This may be the one happy thing. Like, Joseph has kind of been frigging with his brothers, but hey, who knows? Maybe it ends all happy. I understand, Robert.
She'll make an exception for you, Robert.
Woohoo! And okay.
Peradventure. Praise God.
So what's on the menu? Just some yummy absurdity.
It's a nice light appetizer. Just a little absurdity.
We gotta make things fun. I'm glad, honestly, that the Bible keeps things fun for us. All right. Oh, I got tagged. What do we got? This is willing to talk to me in a bit. Can we chat? Absolutely. In fact, come on. And
come in on unto us.
Come in on unto us. We'll you can come on and make it through the chapter, and at the end of the chapter, we can have a chit chat about anything theology or what's on people's mind, and we'll wrap it up
at the Roman execution device.
Bring on those Roman execution. Okay. Joe DiMaggio identifies himself, hopefully in a PG manner, to his brothers.
Well, unless he had a distinguishing mark, then he might have to, things might get a little, pants might be dropping to the floor again.
Then Joe DiMaggio could not refrain himself before all them that stood by him.
We've all been there.
He cried. I know. Because everyone's so mean. Every man that go out for me and then stood up to me. Okay, I'm changing the words. And there stood no man with him while Joseph made himself known unto his
That means
brethren.
he sent his security guards out. Is what it's trying to say.
Good old Roman execution device. And bye, Robert.
Bye, Robert.
Or was he just responding to that in a joke? I can't tell. Was that a self-fulfilling joke? Either way.
Most likely.
And he wept out loud, and the Egyptians and the house of Pharaoh Bling Bling heard. And Joe DiMaggio said unto his brethren, I am Joe DiMaggio. Doth my father yet live? And his brethren could not answer, for they were troubled at his presence. We were like, oh, hey, bro.
I'm Joe DiMaggio. When I'm not hitting home runs, I'm fucking Marilyn Monroe. So there you go.
Exactly. I am Joe DiMaggio. Doubt my father yet live? And his brother, okay, troubled in the presence. And Joe DiMaggio said unto his brethren, come everywhere or near to me, and I pray you. And they came near. Oh, baby. And he said, I am Joe DiMaggio, your brother, who, if you remember, you kind of sold me into Egypt.
Now, yeah, about that, Joseph.
Hey, remember that time when we were like all together and I had like a snappy new coat? It was all rainbow colored, and you guys were like, hey, snappy new coat. It would be shamed if we tore it off, you dipped it in blood, and sold you into slavery.
They're like, we don't remember anything about that. Come on, Joseph. What are you talking about?
That was the time when last year with the slavery thing. Oh my God, I so forgot. A lot happens in a year. Where were
5.
Fine. Now, therefore, be not yet grieved, nor angry with yourselves. I was kind of fucking with you, so we'll call it even. That be sold me hither, for God did send me before you to preserve life. Yahweh hasn't been around in a while. He's been kind of chilling.
Since that Italian wrestling match when Jacob kicked his ass and grabbed his hoo-hoo, yeah, he's been kind of hiding.
He's been kind of hiding. Yeah, maybe he's eating with popcorn. Maybe that's where the corn is. For these two hath the famine been in the land, and yet there are 5 years specifically in which there shall neither be earning nor harvest. And God...
Earring.
Yeah, I need an earring. And God sent me before you to preserve you, a posterity in the earth, and to save your lives by a great deliverance.
I mean, is that the best plan God could come up with? So I'll have the brothers sell him into slavery, and then he'll get thrown in jail. But then the whole thing with the baker, he's gonna die. I got it. Best plan ever.
Best plan. What were it?
6?
8? 6? Oh, really? For those 2 years.
8, yeah, it's 8.
So now it was not you that have sent me hither, but God. Oh. And he hath made me father to Pharaoh Bling Bling, and lord of all house, and lord of all his house, and a ruler throughout all the land of Egypt. Nice. I think I saw that Disney movie too.
I mean, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of evidence of all that in the archaeological records. I mean, I'm sure of that time where the Pharaoh took a Hebrew and just made him in charge.
We all remember that, how everyone makes their slave into the head of state. And God said,
well, this is a slave who has magical dream powers. So
and let's do just a review, because it was all that. Joseph finally identifies himself, saying, "I'm Joseph, the guy you kind of sold." But that's okay. Don't be angry with yourself. God has made me Pharaoh's father. Kind of interesting. Lord of his house, ruler throughout of Egypt.
Lord of his rings.
It's like a opposite adoption, or like not exactly an anti-adoption, but yeah, I guess an opposite adoption. Haste ye and go up to my father, and say unto him, thus said thy son Joe DiMaggio, God hath made me Lord of all Egypt. Come down unto me, tarry not. Don't tarry at me. Return to Canaan. Tell my father how great I am, and return with my entire family. And thou shalt dwell in the land of Goku, and thou shalt be near unto me, thou and thy children, and thy children's children, and thy flocks, and thy herds, and all that thou said.
Oh,
and
not their asses, though.
Not their asses. And there I will nourish thee, for yet there are 5 years of famine, lest thou and thy household and all that thou hast come to poverty. And behold, your eyes and the eyes of my brother give me those Benjamins. That is my mouth that speaketh unto all of you. And ye shall tell my father of all my glory holes in Egypt, and of all that ye have seen, and ye shall haste and bring down my father hither. And he
so
fell
imagine
upon...
they're telling him about the hole in that hole in the side of the tent, the glory hole in Egypt.
That glory hole, baby. And he fell upon his brother Benjamin's neck and wept, and Benjamin wept upon his neck. Moreover, he kissed all of his brethren and wept upon them. And after that, his brethren talked with him, and the fame thereof was heard in Pharaoh's house, saying, Joseph's brethren are come. And and it pleased Pharaoh Bing Bing well, and his people that he owned as human property. And Pharaoh Bling Bling said unto Joe DiMaggio, Say unto thy brethren, This do ye land your beasts, and go, get ye unto the land of Canaan, and take your father and your households, and come on me, bro, and I will give you the good of the land of Egypt, and ye shall eat of the fat of the land. Let me go up just 1 second.
They're going to be
live.
freeloaders.
Oh no,
Yeah.
okay. It just says you're gonna live there. Okay.
Yeah.
They're gonna be freeloaders. All that.
Now, I can't imagine anything going wrong with this whole moving all his people into Egypt. That sounds like a great plan. I don't think anything's going to go wrong later on.
Honestly, I can't imagine why you wouldn't move specifically your entire group of people to this place where they like to enslave people. I feel like that's a good idea. Nothing can go wrong.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong?
Smoky Saint and a Chuck E. Cheese. What could go wrong?
Now thou art commanded this deed, do ye. Take you wagons out of the land of Egypt for your little ones and for your wives, and bring your father and come. Oh man, this Bible just sets me up. Okay. Also, I like how the Bible, it's not like an annotation. It just is like also. Peradventure, not your stuff, for the good of all the land of Egypt is yours.
You don't even have to pack your shit. Just dump it in the desert and come on down. Hey, Ian.
And don't forget the smell.
Don't even bother packing your shit. Wrench your clothes out.
Yeah, wrench those clothes right out. Well, my joke was in modern day debate yesterday was smash that like button faster than Hulk smashed Loki in the first Avengers, and then someone told me to please leave chat. So. Okay.
Hit that like button like a Hebrew beating one of his slaves.
Honestly, it's so funny when people ask if there's slavery in the Bible. If I had to count, we're in like the 60, 70 times that we've talked about slavery, and
they're just vague about it, a lot of them, because they use the term servant. So it could be either or, but I think in most of the cases, it's probably more of a slave than a servant. Yeah,
they've talked about indentured servitudes and people that they own.
Forced labor of some kind.
Forced labor. Also, regard not your stuff, and the children of Israel, the guy, not the place, did so. And Joe DiMaggio gave them wagons. Hey, we're going
nice
on.
I used to have a wagon when I was a little boy, like one of those red wagons they used to push around. Thanks, guys.
Indentured servants, girl. I know that they love that apologetic. There is indentured servitude in the Bible, and there's slavery.
Yeah, they're just intentionally vague about it. I wonder why.
And the children of Israel Mishmael did so, and Joe DiMaggio gave them wagons. Oh, I said that. To all, hold on. So Pharaoh said to Joseph, tell your family to move to Egypt and live off the fat of the land. Okay. To all of them, he gave man changes of remnant. Oh, we're getting upgrades. But to bring him those Benjamins, he gave them 300 pieces of silver and 5 changes of remnant. Sounds like we're back in Final Fantasy, but okay. Joseph gave each brother a change of clothes.
For silver, the Benjamin.
Except for Benjamin, who gave 300 pieces of silver and 5 changes of clothes. Okay.
You get 1 scoop, I get 2 scoops.
Yeah, Benjamin just needed to have 5 clothes. He's a little extra. Beta! Amazing!
He's a soy boy. Soy boy John Maddox.
Soy boy. And to his father, he sent after his manner 10 asses, laden with good things. Oh, baby.
Good things.
Of Egypt.
They're full of good things.
Honestly, I love it when they send me asses laden with good things. And 10 she-asses laden with corn. What the fuck are we reading? Okay, I'm going to read this paragraph again, because sometimes it's me, sometimes it's the Bible. And to his father he sent after this manner 10 asses, laden with the good things of Egypt, and 10 she-asses, laden with corn and bread and meat for his father. By the way, he gave his father 10 asses with the good things of Egypt, and 10 she-asses with corn, bread, and meat. Why do they keep on gendering things? Like, they always oddly, like, they give women really no disregard until they have to be counted for property very specifically.
Yeah, I don't think it matters whether the donkeys are male or female. Like, the male donkeys were carrying this, and the female donkeys were carrying something else.
Can we check? Can we go back and check? Are you sure it wasn't 12 female asses and 8 asses, or was it 12 male asses?
Well, God wants the animals to be monogamous. You know, it's very concerned about the animals' breeding habits. She-asses, yes.
Woohoo.
Very hyper-technical biological terminology we get out of this Bible.
I've been getting we get a lot of science. And remember, people, this is what we need to be taught in classes. This is the real thing. And to his father, he sent after this manner. Oh, no, I said that. I keep on reading. I can't help myself. I see a bunch of good asses, and I get excited.
So he sent 24.
24. Yeah. So he sent his brethren away, and they departed. The movie. And he said unto him, see that ye fall not out of by the way. See that ye fall not out by the way. Okay.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
Okay. And they went up out of Egypt and came into the land of Canaan, on to Jacob's ladder, their father, and told him, saying, Joseph is yet alive, and he is governor over all the land of. And Jacob's ladder's heart tainted, for he believed them not. And they told him all the words of Joe DiMaggio, which he said unto them. And when he said the wagons which Joe DiMaggio had sent carry him, the spirit of Jacob's ladder, their father, revived.
Oh, so that's Jacob, not Israel. Oh, well, now he's back to Israel again in the next verse.
Back to Israel. And, this is, exactly. And Israel Shmishmael said, it is enough, Joe DiMaggio, my son, is yet alive. I will go and see him before I die.
Gotta love the Bible when they use two different names for the same person in 2 verses back to back.
I know. They don't want to make things easy. That would be too well designed.
Yeah, one verse he's Jacob, the next verse he's Israel. The next one he's Jacob's ladder.
It's true. Give us one. Keep it. I get it. I'm fine with giving us the new name.
Praise God. Praise Chaos Champ.
And okay. So we just got done the book of Genesis, chapter 45.
Do it to me, Amy. Do it.
All right. We had our big reveal. Joseph identified himself to his brothers. Dun, dun, dun. He was playing mind games, but he brought them back.
So, Dad, that whole thing about Joseph getting eaten by that animal, yeah, about that.
And
you ordered him that special coat from fucking Amazon. And we all got jealous about it because you didn't love us.
Yeah, it really is kind of weird, and I guess this is working out. But it's kind of like, look, guys, everything will work out in the end because I'm ruler now, and so it doesn't matter. You sold me into slavery. begons. We
Because
all
God used it for good to save the people because that was the best plan he could come up with. He couldn't just cancel the famine. Canceling the famine is not an option because then how would he get his people to be enslaved in Egypt? So you got to think about these things.
What is the moral of the story? What is the wisdom? Is it just try and work your way through slavery because there's an off
Pretty
chance
much,
that
yeah.
he might like you and the Pharaoh will make you his dad?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you tell all slaves that story, then they'll think, hey, if I just keep trusting in God and just keep busting my ass for this master, maybe one day I'll something nice will happen to me. Maybe I'll get a new straw mat to sleep on the floor, or maybe maybe I'll get some decent food to eat or whatever. Maybe I'll get
Nom-noms.
all through my ear.
Yeah, get a nice cow mark for you. Make sure we identify as a piece of property. And okay, so
Praise God.
we're gonna be bringing ourselves to the last chapter of the night. I'm
'Cause if
going
we
to be
do-
sending.
We're going to get up to 46.
Yes, we're gonna do 46. We're gonna do that, and I'm sending the link
Send the link.
now. in
Then we'll only
chat.
have 3 more for next time. Well, then we'll be done with Genesis. Amazing.
Amazing! Oh my God, the theists. So we get some interesting characters. It's a religion.
Absolutely.
No, it's
If-
just that.
If
I need a drink
atheism
of
was a
water.
religion, this would be church.
Ramen.
If sodomy were an Olympic sport, she'd be a gold medalist. If blasphemy was an Olympic sport, we all would be.
I know he never got his dream coat back. Womp womp.
Yeah, it's like a security blanket.
And okay. Welcome, KOC champ. How are you tonight?
KOC.
Welcome, and
How's
to
it going,
our-
everybody?
It's going pretty good. How are you? And welcome to our Skeptic Bible study, Joseph's Big Reveal. What are your thoughts so far? And how's your night going?
I think that Joseph left his son on a magic carpet ride, and that carpet ride wasn't so very good for him, and maybe then, had its ups and downs, and now he's on the top of a pyramid somewhere, but nobody wrote about him, so that's cool.
But there's plenty of asses and sacks, so
I like
that makes
asses.
up for it.
Was
I
that
like
enough?
asses, so we're cool with that.
There you go.
That was so many asses and sacks. Yeah, that was an interesting path. That was the most sexual tension I think I've seen in a chapter that had no sex. That was intense.
Oh man, I'm enjoying it. It's kind of like, sack to ass to sack. We're cool with it. I'm kind of like whatever. Sounds
Cups, throw a cup in there.
good. Yeah.
When you get drinking long enough, you have a few. You're with your buddies.
I mean, right now, it's kind of like one of those I'm drunk enough to do that kind of schemes. You know what I mean?
Woohoo!
Praise God. Amen.
I've been teasing people all day. Like, hey man, let's talk about it. And I keep putting in quotes. For like the last 3 days, I keep like with Maddox and all these other people. I'm like, hey, in quotes, let's talk about it. And nobody wants to talk about it, man. It's just kind of like all these people are just like, oh man, I don't want to talk about it, man. I'm just quit talking to you.
They don't want to talk about it, yeah.
They don't want to talk about it, man. They don't want to talk about it.
They're running. Come to our. We have such a lovely open mic. Come join us.
Maddox has the
Muslims.
pulse on that mute button and that the remove button.
Maddox has a big personality with a whole bunch of words and no facts behind it. It's just like he's literally. I say this about Maddox all the time. He is like the what's it gets it of Christian theology. He has this big verbiage salad that makes no fucking sense. He's just saying a bunch of random
Mr. Dunning-Kruger.
And he's just saying things. And he puts words behind it that sound really good that people don't understand. And neither does he. He doesn't actually understand the meaning of his own words. But it sounds really good. and if it sounds really good, people will believe you, because like, look, I did not vote for Hillary Clinton. I would never vote for Hillary Clinton, but the word that she used, deplorable, makes a lot of fucking sense now.
Well, John, and then John Max is like, well, I've been reading genetics every day for a year for an hour, so clearly I know more about that than the entire field of biology. They don't know anything. I can invalidate all their scientific research and papers to prove evolution is impossible.
That's my only beef is that, go out there and spread your image. He's been mostly nice to me in chat, so I heart you, John. But
he's cordial.
I wish they would just. It's not just him. It's multiple theists, Christians, whatever you want to go. Please do not. If the reason for your conversion is something different than the reason that you're preaching or that you're debating against, then go back to your original reason. If it convinced you, then that should be the reason that you're telling people. If genes are the reason that you believe in a God, then genes should be your shtick. But any other reason, I don't know why we're talking genes. I know why they do that. I know why apologists do that, but it doesn't get you anywhere to why they believe. So that's my pet peeve. Okay, what were you going to say,
they don't
KOC,
even know what
or James?
I was just going, they don't even really know, like KOC was saying, a lot of what they're talking about. It's like people who take a 10th grade physics class and then assume that they can go out and do, they know more physics than Neil deGrasse Tyson or Michio Kaku,
I swear they learn as much as they can about a subject just to disagree with it. It's a very interesting thing, just how they seem to know some things about evolution, yet you get lots of common misconceptions. Are you telling why are there still monkeys? Are you telling us we're monkeys? Then why are there still monkeys? Well, no, we're
they'd have to try hard to get it that wrong.
Hebraic people. If you bring facts to them and they begin to fall apart, every single one of them, pick one, pick a number, pick a number amongst them. They will always say, they will fall back to the Bible and they will say, well, the Bible says X, Y, Z. And you're like, no, hold on, man. We just spoke about something that existed before your Bible. Well, my Bible existed before what you're saying right now. And you're like, that doesn't make any fucking sense at all. What you're saying doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, let's start over, or let's get to some place where we can make sense again. Let's get back to where we make sense. And when we start making sense again, we'll have a conversation, But they fall back constantly, consistently, and it's like, all right, man, you don't make any sense anymore. We don't have a conversation because you don't make any fucking sense.
And so I'm going to add in Tara. Welcome, Tara, and we'll give them an opener, and then we'll go back into the fun. We'll finish up our final chapter.
Knockout 46. Welcome back, Tara.
Knockout 46. How are you, Tara?
Is this the final chapter, unironically?
No, we've got 3 more after tonight.
I'll actually give this to you. And that's my Google Home. See, capitalism is ever present. It's basically omnipresent. But I had a bad day, Amy, James.
I'm sorry.
You all right?
I got into a debate today, and let's just say it was not a fun one. But mutual eye clawing from both sides in some ways. If I bring up this date with you again, Amy or James, I'll probably send the link to the stream because you'll probably archive it. But
it was on YouTube?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
What was the subject?
It was on the top subject of basically, it started with gender identity and sexual identity, and then it went to epistemology with God, which what I cared about was the last part because, as you know, I'm kind of a logic whore. And I sort of think that, the final point before I was kicked was, whenever they got something wrong about epistemology.
Final point before I was kicked.
because I was so frustrated. I kept like, trying to finish my point. So I'm like, I'm basically like a lion, like all right, but this, and then like, they interrupt and like we keep moving the goalposts. Long story short, it was unproductive, but the reason why I came here is because I came angry at God. And since I'm pretty sure he doesn't exist, I came to read the Bible and listen to Amy joke about it.
The Bible.
So,
Woohoo!
we'll see.
We're glad you're here.
We're going through the Bible.
We're going to see the last 3 chapters. Maybe the last 3 chapters of this book. I remember it, reading it when I was like 17. I thought it was okay. Maybe, 6 years down the line, I'll find out I'm wrong. But, I'll kindly shut up.
By the way, you a theist back then? You were a Christian back then, right?
I was a Christian, but I was kind of a strange Christian. They used to believe that crystal rocks had sentience. New Age shit.
To each their own. But if you when you read the Bible as a Christian, you're going to take away a lot. You're going to take a lot differently than when you try to be neutral.
Hey, you made me like Mimir or Odin or Loki or Thor. You may meet hell like Helena. You never know.
I like to think that Amy and James know what I'm about. I would like to imagine that if there was a God, I would like to base it off my ancestors. The Aztecs were basically a death metal band, like just hundreds of years ago. I like to imagine that the God of War is the central patron, because it's the only thing that makes sense in our evil sort of world that Christians try to gaslight me into thinking it's good. But yeah, sorry about that, Amy. I just wanted to rant.
No, you're fine.
I don't want to pick a big pagan thing going on, but I mean, I'm with you there. I like Aztec people too.
I mean, I actually am 1/4 Aztec, but it goes back into the thing. I guess I will talk about this because it is relevant. I've always felt like Genesis was kind of like wishy-washy on some aspects of God. In some areas, in particular, of like why God has chosen specifically the Israel people. And this is clearly what we're about to talk about. So, I guess I'm in for a penny and in for a pounding, as they say,
And there's no country yet, so I guess it's going to be based off this dude.
Abraham was the start of it all.
Well, yeah, but I mean just the country name. Because it's really random that his name is Israel.
He named Jacob Israel just because God likes to fuck around with names.
Just because he likes to rename his pets. And okay, so you guys ready?
I'm
kick
ready.
off the fun.
Woo-hoo. And this is exciting. So okay, we are on
That's a new one.
If you've just joined us, welcome to our Skeptic Bible study. Joseph's big reveal. Joseph just revealed his identity to his brothers. And
they've all revealed their asses and their sacks.
They've all revealed their asses and their sacks. And we are on the book of Genesis, chapter 46. Right off the bat on the menu, we have our lovely contradictions with itself, but a brand new surprise. We always love some good old biblical prophecy. So let's see what we got going on here. All right. Jacob's ladder and his family travel to the land of Gohan. And Ishmael Shmishmael took
Hope it
his
doesn't turn
journey.
Super Saiyan, because if so, then we're gonna have a few character arcs about daddy issues and like some weird, strange villain that sucks you from a magical tail.
I
Always.
feel like Yahweh versus Goku should be a animation. I feel like that.
Like Godzilla versus Megalon.
You know what? I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think Goku has a fair chance. Both can create and destroy universes, but in Goku's defense, Goku could fight.
Bro, I think Goku gets you, man. I think Goku gets you, man. I'm just saying.
It gets it.
If I would give it to my boy Thor, and everybody thinks Goku would beat Thor, then I gotta give it to Goku. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go with it. So I'm rocking with Goku.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
I like the hair. I like Goku's hair. Okay.
Number
one. And Ishmael Shmishmael took his journey with all that he had, and came to Beer Land, and offered sacrifices unto God. His father, I don't have a thing for this yet, Isaac, and God spake unto Israel,
in the visions of the night, in the visions of the night.
So now
And
God's
said-
talking to him again out of nowhere.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh, here I am, guys.
Hey, guys. And God spoke unto Israel, spake in the visions of the night, and said, Jacob's ladder, Jacob's ladder. And he said, here am I.
But wait a minute, you
could've
just said I was
hi.
Israel. Now you're calling me Jacob again.
And he said, I am God. Hi, God. The God of thy father. Okay. Is there other ones? Fear.
It's like, yeah,
not-
I know. We just wrestled.
Yeah, we were just.
I know who you are.
We were rolling. The God of thy father.
I need him to come
Fear.
down and help some of my guys get ready for Saturday coming up, man. Because I got 4 guys fighting Saturday, and I need an angel to come down and help these guys get ready with me. You know.
I know.
Do
Gotta
some-
get ready for
do
some punches.
Italian wrestling with Yahweh.
Mhm. And he said, I am God. Oh, okay, I said that. I will go down with thee and into Egypt. Oh. And I will also surely bring thee up again. Ooh. And Joe DiMaggio shall put his hand upon thy eyes. Oh, my.
I thought they were going to say thigh.
Eyes. I was hoping for it. I'll take eyes. That's still sexy. We ended sexy. I am your father's God. Don't be afraid to go to Egypt. I'll make a great nation from you while you're there. Oh, cool. I'll
So
go to
what-
Egypt with you.
Put your hands upon thine eyes. Wouldn't that, is that like Three Stooges shit?
A little bit. They have a good 3-act show going. I will go down. Oh, can
Five,
I
right?
read
Yeah,
Great
5.
Nation? 5.
I mean, small out of the side, but I just like how he specifies, like, he's like, oh yeah, like, I'm the God of thy father, as if God of other fathers.
He does that
and
every
others
time.
That's
exist.
what. Exactly. It seems like he's like, hey, by the way, of all the gods, I'm the God of your father.
He does the same thing with Moses in Exodus. He's got to tell him, by the way, I'm that El Shaddai guy that Abraham talked to, as opposed to any of the other gods that could be talking to somebody.
Well, to put it nicely, I kind of want to give it to God. Maybe, he's just a really respectful guy, I'm the God of thy father. Oh, that's nice. You chose my father out of all the fathers on this
Nice of
planet.
you.
That's really wonderful. Or maybe he's just trying to gaslight me and,
He's
trying to
everywhere,
say-
so he's also the god of that porta potty, and he's also the god
Everywhere
of.
and he's nowhere.
Yeah.
And while I'm on it, at it. Oh, actually, my cat's scratching, so I'll be right back.
Your cat's scratching, my cat's meowing up a storm.
I'm just going to quietly read to myself so that way I can start my war quietly with God, if you don't mind.
Bro, I was really hoping that you guys had a way of contacting like an angel of God to come wrestle with my boys. You know what I mean? I'm tired.
Just pray
man.
for it. Pray for it.
I'm
And
tired. My shit hurts, bro. I need like an angel to come down and wrestle
Today
with
is
them.
Sunday. Go to church and pray for it. See what happens.
I'm gonna get at the cross to go do that for me, man. At some point, me and him are gonna become friends.
Well, Amy will pray to the spaghetti monster, and we'll see which one's more effective.
If it makes you feel better,
And-
I'll pray to Tlaloc. He's the Aztec god of rain. I, for one, love rain. Living in
Don't
Mexico,
do it. Don't
not
pray
much
to
rain
the
here.
rock.
If you
Don't
could,
do
if
it.
you could talk to my boy Quetzalcoatl or Huetzalcoatl, that'd be awesome.
Quetzalcoatl.
Go with either one
Flying
of those.
serpent.
And I'm gonna send a shout out. You guys were saying, where is God? Well, speaking of that, our buddy Donald is actually going to be doing one of his first live streams tomorrow
Wonderful.
What
at
time?
1:25 p.m. So go check out Eminent Reflection, and his first episode is Earth Calling God. So he came through with his. He said he would do it, and he would. He's doing his open
All
mic
right.
for God, waiting for God to come in and speak for I guess
Open
themselves.
mic for God. Yeah.
So shout out to Donald and to his channel tomorrow. Go check that out.
What holiday was that, Amy? Where the Jewish
got
people,
some
where they
stuff
send somebody to the door check for somebody? Is that
Say that-
yeah? Where they send somebody to the door to check to see if anybody's there, It's like Rosh Hashanah or Yom Kippur. I don't know if you guys celebrated those when you were.
I think so. They celebrate Passover and Rosh Hashanah. I'm trying to remember all of them. The ones where they passed over? That's Passover. No, that's what we're going to be reading coming up.
Coming up. Kill an animal and spray the blood on the door.
Killing animals.
I got some stuff going on tomorrow. I would be there otherwise, man. I got some stuff going on though, or I would be there.
Woohoo! Hey, and also, by the way, hey Randolph.
Hey Randolph.
Esau Seesaw says hi. Woohoo! And
Don't miss the sax.
Oz
Don't
in
miss
the
the
house.
Oz.
Woohoo! And
what about that Jesus is guy? Is he coming in?
That Jesus, I know. We've
salty
all
theist.
adopted that lovely man's usage of the word Bibble. I feel like we were convinced, and so from now on, it's going to be the Bibble. And okay, so if anyone would like to join us, the live stream is in the chat. I'm also going to be sending the link for Discord, because that's going to be our new thing. Is post-stream, we're actually going to spend some time off Discord. So if Discord is your thing, I'm going to be sending the link in chat. And all right.
He's a Molinist too, so.
Did I scroll up? Where what was that? Anyone remember what number I was on? I'm trying.
We're
on 5.
5. Okay. And Jacob's ladder rose up, as you do, from Beerland, and the sons of Israel Shmishmael carried Jacob's ladder, their father, and their little ones, and their wives in the wagon which Pharaoh Bling Bling had sent to carry them. Oh, that's nice of him. And they took their cattle and their goods, which they had gotten in the land of Canaanite, and came all over into Egypt, Jacob's ladder and all his seed with him. Whew. Whew. His sons and his sons' sons with him, his daughters and his sons' daughters, and all his seed brought he with him into Egypt. That's a lot of seed. So Jacob and his family went into Egypt. Okay.
Can I be honest? This is like bad grammar. If like someone like if there was a modern book editor trying to sell like Harry Potter, they would send this Bible back and they'd be like, "Nah, this ain't it, chief. Work on your grammar." His son's sons and his son's daughters. You know, I don't know how to simplify that because I am just like fucking drunk enough. But damn it, does that just seem so dastardly dumb?
I mean,
they are redundantly
redundant. Say it
redundant.
that way today, but this is a 1614 or 1620 version of English grammar. So we get lots of fun words like peradventure and the sacks and the asses.
Well, unlike other Christians, we have a tool called Google, so we're aware of these words once we, get lost somewhere. Hopefully.
Exactly. They didn't seem to have that in the Goat Herder's Guide to the Galaxy. And all right, so the names of Jacob's family. Wow, this sounds like a really exciting chapter. So
there'll
please,
be a lot
everyone,
of begatting and
hold your pulse and hold on. I may have to listen. Right back. 1 second.
So we got some contradictions with itself. Looks like we got some feminism issues, and looks like we got boredom as the category markers for this upcoming segment.
Okay. And these are the names of the children of Israel Shmishmael, which came into Egypt. Jacob's ladder and his sons, Dave Reuben, Jacob's ladder's firstborn. The children and grandchildren of Jacob and Leah are listed in verse 9 through 15. And the sons of Dave Rubin, Hanok, Phalu, Hezron, and Kamir. And the sons of Simon says, Jamul, Jamin, Ahad, Jachin, Zohar, Shal, and the son of the Canaanitish woman. What?
Catfish woman.
Okay. Simon says, and his 6 sons. Bring them on down. And the sons of Levi, Goku, Koth, and Murmur.
Yeah,
And
No
the-
Dan yet.
No Dan. I know. My man Dan. And the sons of Judah, and Onan, and Sheila, and Fars, and Zara. But and Onan died in the land of Canaan.
Yeah, is one of the guys who got, and Onan, he's the guy who pulled out.
You gotta pull out sometimes. And the sons of Pharaohs were Hezmel and Hamel. And the sons of Ishkar, Tola and Fuv, and Job, and Sherman, Isachar and his 4 sons. Oh boy. And the sons of Zubulun. Man, why wasn't this quoted in Sunday school, right? Or in Hebrew school?
Name. Here you go.
And the sons of Zebulun, Siron, and Elon Musk. And
Elon Musk,
Job.
really? He was alive thousands of
Right
years ago.
there. It's amazing.
Apparently.
I can't believe I'm giving this to God, but well done.
Well-
It's clear that he picked up Elon from thousands of years ago, put him to our time because we're clearly screwed. We need a savior. But props to him for accepting the fact is someone has 4 sons in a book that has like hundreds of sons that basically fall victim to history. Oh boy.
Randolph says the Chevys in the levee and the levees were dry. Ran dry.
I like how this, by the
Where
way,
have you
continues
gone,
on
Joe
for like,
DiMaggio?
what, 6 verses? It goes to the sons of Rachel's Jacob's wife.
I know.
Ugh.
Odin was the guy that did a Trump. He pulled out. They,
Okay.
sometimes it happens. These be the
Maybe-
sons.
Maybe Jacob
Oh.
has a P tape.
Oh boy.
Enough asses and sacks. So.
You have enough asses and sacks to make that P tape. If you just joined us, we just went through an entire chapter of them saying the words asses and sacks more than you'll find in any Yowie adventure. Let's just put it that
This
way.
book is all you need for your life. It's got
Wait, I like
everything
Yowie.
you need to know in here.
Hey,
I'll
like
let
I
all
was
of you
saying, not hating.
I'll have all of you know, as much as I try to calm my voice, anytime somebody says asses, I'm going to say, I like asses.
That's
So-
okay. You should say that every time that they say asses in this book.
I plan to. I
Yeah.
plan
Amy,
In
we
fact,
don't
then
have-
you're going to be saying it a lot.
Me and Amy have
Yeah.
a lot of things in common, but we appreciate a good ass, I like to think.
Appreciate.
Of
right.
any gender.
I love a good ass.
Later on,
Exactly.
there's going to be an ass talking. We're going to see a talking ass.
A talking ass.
A
Woo.
talking ass, yeah.
I seen a
So
talking ass last week, and it was an actual anatomical ass, too.
An anatomical ass.
Go with
Well,
it, yeah.
Yahweh's got you beat.
Well-
He's got it in the Bible. Dibble.
It didn't say things like hello or how are you. It just, it's like, hey, can you come help me out? I'm cool with that.
Well, I don't want to
I,
spoil the fun, but the ass is mad that somebody's hitting him, so that'll give
I've been thinking of making or getting icons for like when this channel has joined, and one of the icons I think I'm gonna get I just almost gave my punchline. One of the icons I now want to get is going to be the eternal butthole. So in my head, it would be like a butthole with wings around it. I would like to make that.
I might
wanna
pay
make
for that.
that
I don't
icon.
know.
a slave beating rod, a duke.
I do. I want one that's like a bat with a top hat that goes, sir, sir, sir. All sorts of fun stuff.
We
Okay.
definitely got to get you in like the cool kid crowd where you have like the screen overlay and all the cool stuff,
Well,
We
I
gotta
need to get. I should make a PNG. That's what I need to do, and have like a scrolling, have stuff on there.
Yeah, we should get you in the cool kid club.
The
Yeah,
Well, I will say, not to brag, but I will say, I am indeed an inner circle atheist. You know,
I can't-
it would. I just want you to know.
I can't remember the
Special
five
forces.
characters' names. I can't remember the actual 5 characters' names for the star, but it's kind of contradicts the whole atheist point with the star because it's like Bahamut, Lucifer, Baal, and they call Satan something else, Satanist or some
Beelzebub.
bullshit, and then something else, and it's like the 5 points of the star. I don't know how to do it with
Belial.
names, but I would show you guys. But it's like the 5 points of the star and how the star was created, all this bullshit, and they're all just making it up because all that bullshit started in like 1930 or 40 or something. With Wiccanism, Wiccans, the whole Wiccan thing started like 1930 and 40.
Yeah, I used to be a Wiccan, so I'm going to throw some former shade at my fellow Wiccans and pagans. But once you accept the word of Aleister Crowley as basically the Bible, I feel like you've lost me along a few ways.
I appreciate you more just for recognizing
Holy
that. Actually.
logo.
I mean, it's important to realize that we are dissing on Christianity here, and I will admit up front that like I used to be one of those New Age pagan assholes. You know, like, well, not assholes. I would say dumbass, because like I think that spirit science has corrupted my sense of logic when I was 17 or 18. And reading this book now, other than like the Sons of Zebulon, because who names their kid Zebulon? Come on, that's actually kind of cool. How many kids can you name?
That's a
name
pretty
with
fucking
this-
cool
Lesbian.
name.
Oh, we got lesbian.
Well, when it comes to
coming
like
up
the
back up.
actual content, I'm not impressed.
We are both interrupting what they have going on here, but I will say that I really like the pretext on that. Thank you. So,
And no, let me tell. It's about to get exciting. So let me tell you. I think we only have more like Asher and Jimma and Isha. I mean, come on now.
So if you have a bad heart, brace yourself.
Yeah. This may be viewer discretion
It may be
is
too much
advised.
for you, yeah.
Exactly. These can be sons of Leah, who is not in Star Wars, which she bare unto Jacob's ladder in Pandora's box, with his daughter Diana the queen. All the souls of his sons and his daughters were 33. Total number of descendants of Jacob and Leah, 33. Thanks, Bible. And the sons of Gadzad, Ziphon, Hag, Shuna, Hezbon, Hag, Era, Ard, and Arilela. The children and grandchildren of Jacob and Zilpah are listed in verses 16 to 18. Gad and his 7 sons. Man, we're just like taking inventory here. And the sons of Ashkacham, Jimnah, and Isha, and Izu, and Bera, and Sirah, their sister, and the sons of Bera, Hebar, and Melachul. These are the sons of Zilpah, whom lesbian
Yeah,
came
she's back.
gave to Leah, not Star Wars' daughter. And these she bare unto Jacob, even 16 souls.
Even 16.
God damn!
Even 16. Hot damn. Total number of descendants of Jacob and Zilith, 16. All
Important
right.
information.
Important information. I quote this when I am like in deep troubles. I'm like, I don't really know what's going on in life. I don't know if we're going to get out of this. And I say to myself, and the sons of Asher, Jimma, and Isha, and Iju, and Bera, and Sarah, their sister, and the sons of Bera, Erber, and Michalai. And it just starts to make sense to me once I think about
I
that.
mean, can you believe that there's people who think this book is just a bunch of nonsense? Can you believe that?
Could you imagine them making fun of this wisdom, putting it up against novels like The Lord of the Rings?
I don't know. I put this up against Marvel Comics all the time. And to be honest, I think that Odin could probably solo God in the Christian Bible any day of the week.
Bro, my boy Odin will put so many beats on God. Like, he would put so many beats on him, man. I mean, I'm just saying.
It's like,
He
sorry,
owns 10
guys.
universes. God at best only owns 1, as far as I know.
I won't go into it because I'm still interrupting, but
Yeah.
my boy Odin will put the
No,
beats
you're
on
fine.
God. You know,
Yeah, you're good.
way to do it.
We only have this chapter to go through,
almost
so
done.
we got time.
Yahweh's
we're all
like,
making through.
I honed all you scientists thousands of years ago with this book, bitch. Like, take your physics and suck it.
Well, I always say it's not fair because the Lord of the Rings is actually a good read. Here all night, folks. Tip your waitress.
God's like, you've got science, I've got magic.
Can you imagine someone trying to sell a book where it was just like you had an entire chapter of no one doing nothing but names? Just, man, I think your editor would hand that back really quickly.
Can we tip you in like endangered serpent ways?
Always. These sons of...
Is Amy blushing?
Okay.
Is Amy blushing now?
These are the sons of Rachel Dolenal, Jacob Slatter's wife, Joe DiMaggio, and Gimme Those Benjamins. And on to...
This is the chapter that keeps on giving because we're going to see another one of our friends come back soon.
Woohoo! There's going to be a reunition.
Yeah, somebody's coming back. Yep.
And on to Joe DiMaggio. In the land of Egypt were born manna, the specific type of manna from what is that game? Magic. And Ephraim, and Asnith, and the daughter of Polytest, priest of On bare unto him. And the sons of Gimme Those Benjamins were Bela, and Bechar, and Ashbela, and Gary, and I don't know if Gary. We're just gonna pretend that's Gary, and Naaman, and Ea, and Rosh, and Muppum, and Huppum, and Ard.
Wait, did you say muffin?
Yes, I did,
Muffin.
and Muffin. It was
there you
Muffin
go.
Tom.
There we go, muffin.
Benjamin had 10 sons. Good for you, Benjamin. We're proud.
I mean, it took so much effort just for you not to miss whenever you were shooting down a straight hole, but okay.
Jacob Slatter's wife. That's what we're here for. Woohoo!
22.
22. These are the sons of Rachel Dolenal, which were born to Jacob Slatter, and all souls were 14. That's a little bit random, but okay. And the sons of Dan.
Dan, he's back. He's back, baby.
Once again, if you've been following along with our list of names, Bella, Batcher, Ashbel, Gara, Naaman, Ea, Rosh, Muppum, Hoppin, Arid, Rachel, and Dan.
Dan.
Hush him. Hush him.
Play that game.
Wait, how's it sons of Dan, but there's only one son?
Or another.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like, are these people bad at grammar, or are they just, like, bad at counting sons? Which I'm not surprised, but,
Yes.
hey.
It's like God. They're one, but they're also more than one. So.
Woohoo! What's up, Jay? Forgot that gonad.
Oh, forgot gonad. Always wisdom from KOC.
And the sons of Naphatil, Jazil, and Guna, and Jezar, and Shillam. These are the sons of Billabong, which Lesbian gave unto Rachel Dolenal, his daughter. And she bare these unto Jacob. All the souls were 7. Total number of descendants, Jacob. Why are they telling us this? Why are you telling us
It
this?
must be important for later.
Must be important. I hope that this comes back around and we're like, oh, of course, it all makes sense while they were listing all those names. Okay. All the souls that came with Jacob Slatter into Egypt, which came out of his loins, well, it makes sense. Besides, Jacob Slatter's sons, wives, all the souls were 66.
Better than the bowels.
Better than the bowels. And the sons of Joseph, which were born him in Egypt, were 2 souls.
all the souls of the house of Jacob, which came into Egypt, were 77, and Judah before him unto Joseph, to direct his face onto Goku. And they came into the land of Goku. There were a total of 70 people, holy shit, in Jacob's family when they came to Egypt. Okie dokie.
Can I be serious for once? It's very rare.
Sure.
I'm actually serious, but at least especially now. But so there were 70 people that decided to come to Egypt, right? I've always, since I love studying history, I would actually kind of like sort of historical like sources to maybe like, I don't know, find a little bit more. Because like even with the New Testament, I could find like some sort of collaborating testimony about Jesus and the Roman Empire if I look hard enough. But for this, like, you know, it's, I mean, not that it really fundamentally matters to the point, but like, you know, after a while, numbers become numbers. Is it exactly 70 people? Or did God just count 70 and like forgot, like, I don't know, like maybe 2 people in the back that were like, you know, just not Christian or whatever, or like Jewish or whatever. You know, I would imagine it could happen, you know, because like God seems to be rather prejudiced against those that don't follow his covenant with the covenant with him, like even if you're an Israelite, but that's not relevant, I think, right now. But still.
Covenants and blessings. Covenants and blessings.
Covenants and blessings.
Praise the spaghetti monster.
Praise
Meatballs
the
for
spaghetti
everybody. Meat sacks for everybody.
Meat sacks for everybody. May he touch you with his noodly appendage.
Bro, you really offended me with this whole spaghetti monster thing.
Spray you with
I
red
feel
sauce.
like you should be calling the noodle monster because he needs to be able to choose whether or not he has a meatball or not.
That's his immutable, unchangeable nature.
You have to let the
I'll be here all night.
woohoo!
Be the William Lane Craig of the spaghetti monster apologetics.
By the way, did I ever tell you it's my like dream fantasy that if I ever become famous as an author, I plan to debate William Lane Craig? Because I never met anyone that's a
Well,
Christian.
Excuse me, you can't. That can't happen because
Why?
the rumor is that's not the way you debate him by becoming well known. The rumor is he only debates people with PhDs. I don't know if that's true. That's what he. Now I guess Christopher Hitchens doesn't have a PhD. I don't have a PhD. It's so silly how to hide that standard.
So
But,
You know, to go back to reality, I
debate
just
Ken
like
Hovind. I think that's such a stupid thing.
You could have like a Hovind doctorate, or you could have like, you know, a doctor you get online. You know what I mean? That's pretty
Hovind
simple.
Doctorate on the back of a box of Frosted Flakes, and you mail $2, and then they send you your doctorate.
Well, here's the unironic thing. I actually plan to get my
Tony the Tiger
PhD.
University.
I actually want to get my PhD in something real, not something fantasy like religion. It's called economics. It has real world value. You know, like unironically, if I were to look at like from an economic perspective, I downloaded the Bible for free again, and I consider it, you know, not a waste of money. But if I were to spend $10 on that Bible at like Walmart, I would consider it a fair amount a waste of money. And if I do get a PhD, on this small channel, I challenge you, William Lane Craig, because as an eternalist and also someone that's agnostic, I think you're full of shit. But that's irrelevant. Speaking of, which verse are we on? 28?
We are going to be 29, I think.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to say it shouldn't matter. As someone who has many fancy certificates of debt, it should not matter. The truth is the truth. So if you're going to sit here and say that only people who have... So I haven't seen him on a debate circuit in a long time. And it could not be true. Maybe I'm doing him wrong. Maybe he actually doesn't do that, and that was just a rumor.
Maybe he'll come on our show and he can tell you himself.
Probably not. This is probably not very PC, but
hey, welcome.
I can't imagine you saying anything not.
Well, you guys know I block the camera when I do different things and what blah 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 blah. I try to do my best to be respectful, right? But how many subs do you know that may or may not like flying spaghetti monsters?
Touching their noodly appendages. Hey, you never know.
Got
Hey,
a
I
lot
don't
of
kink.
lot of things going on there for them, eh?
I'll tell you,
Oh.
I will never kink shame nobody, especially the ones in the Bible that seem
That's
to
some
love
real
sex.
that's some real anime shit right there.
Well,
You know,
if
the
they don't
worst
like
part-
it, they can go back to Praise's channel or Mr. Batman.
Yeah, the worst part is someone who has kind of done with this sort of fictional stuff called religion. I sort of think that, like, when I look at Genesis, I sort of see the parallels with Zoroastrianism clearly, and maybe even like some
Absolutely.
yeah, and I see like some prior like mythical beliefs that are clearly now myth, but Christianity and Jewish, obviously Judaism, which is less, but more so Christianity. It's not only a force to still be here; it's a force to be reckoned with. Like 1 out of 5 people in this world are Christian, and it saddens me to admit, as someone who's part Hispanic, like Hispanic Americans have deeply fallen into
Nico, I could go on with you for days and days about historical evidence, all that stuff with Zoroastrianism, Hebraic beliefs, so on and so forth.
That's
I could
true.
go on with you forever with that stuff.
But we are on
Limited
29,
time.
right? Yeah.
We're at 29. Yep. Let's finish.
On mute, Amy. You're on mute.
And no, we're thank you, and we're doing good actually. I think we're coming. This is the end of the chapter, and so we'll
coming
read
up on 2
this.
hours. Yeah.
We'll sum everything up, and then we'll head over to Discord, and we'll spend a little bit of time there.
We'll
So,
do some
woohoo!
blasphemy over there. Blasphemy
Do some
here,
blasphemy
then go
over
blasphemy
there.
over there.
Exactly. And I'll send the link into chat again if you want to join our Discord.
And don't forget Amy's pantsless debate next Friday.
Woohoo! Exactly. It keeps me sharp when I
Buy the pants.
just gotta go.
Are the pants for sale?
The renting.
And okay.
And all of a sudden, Amy has been hit twice tonight. Damn.
Hey, no. I'll take it all. You take it good. Oh, baby, will I take it all?
I'll bet you will.
She should change her profile picture. That's what I keep telling her. She just changed that picture. Maybe we'll change things up. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe not.
The men of Sodom should have come knocking on her door.
She's still rubbing the sides of her face right now, so she's still a little distracted. So we'll keep running what we're doing.
They want to know you, Amy.
Oh, baby. They want to know me better.
They want to come know you.
I want to know you. In the words of Caleb, Bob.
Oz. They want to know Oz.
There's Oz, and then there's also Zoe, who I think is Jesus is. Zoe is out there trying to promote and normalize Christianity.
Good luck with that.
These damn atheists
ironically
demanding that things make sense.
But you could also check out tart.live, and while we lovely try to also normalize atheism. Okay, let's bring us into the final chapter. So, Joseph meets Jacob and his family, and just a good old laugh. You can't go bad with a good old laugh.
An iron chariot.
He rides an iron chariot, baby. Oh, baba. And Joe DiMaggio made ready his chariot and went up to meet Israel Shmishmael, his father, to Goku, and presented himself onto him. Oh, baby. And he fell on his neck. Oh, my.
That's hard to do.
And wept on his neck a good while.
How do you even fall on your neck, honestly?
I don't know. That's hard to do.
Oh. Yeah. And Israel Shmishmael said unto Joe DiMaggio, "Now let me die, since I haven't seen thy face, because thou art yet alive."
Yeah.
You
want to die? Talk to God about that. I don't know why you're talking to me. Just pull out next time you're with one of your wives, and then God will take care of that for you.
That's right. Just pull right out, baby. Instant lightning bolt. We're weeping, and Israel swims. Okay, he's being extra. And Joe DiMaggio said unto his brethren and unto his father's house, I will go up and shew Pharaoh Bling Bling, and say unto him, my brethren and my father's house, which were in the land of can I not, and are come unto me? Okay, sure. And the men are shepherds. Further trade hath been to feed cattle, and they have brought their flocks and their herds and all that they have. And it shall come to pass, when Pharaoh Bling Bling shall call you, and shall say, what is your occupation? That ye shall say, the servants, trade hath been about cattle, from our youth even until now, both we and also our fathers, that ye may dwell in the land of Goku. For every shepherd is an abomination unto the Egyptians.
They don't like shepherds.
Don't like shepherds. Joseph rides his chariot over to Goshen to meet his father. Ladies and gentlemen, the book of Genesis, chapter 46.
I really like the way that girl winks. That girl winking right there. It's like I'm like, hey, girl, what's up?
She's winking at you.
Looks like you got holes and I got a sack, so we're good.
we should be at each other.
Let me see the ass. Let me see the ass.
Yeah,
the talking ass.
Yeah. There's at least 2 asses involved with this, so.
Is this the last chapter? Like, is there a chapter
No,
47? I don't think so.
No.
50.
So it goes up to chapter 50. So we got one more podcast to go, and we are done Genesis.
I'll make sure to win that. I'll make sure to go to that one. My favorite channel, Friendly Atheist, is also doing
Bye, us.
Night,
basically doing a skeptic
Adios,
Bible study.
Have a good night.
Yeah, go see Dak tomorrow on his channel. He's doing a
I
stream.
really wish we'd have kept that whole at the cross thing up so we could have talked some shit to each other. Jeez.
The reason atheism is normal is that yep.
But
right.
but Randolph, I have an old book that says something. Doesn't that mean it's true?
Well, what about the Bible? Don't forget about the Bible.
It says so in this old book.
You know, I often don't praise. I don't often praise literature, but to be honest, I think the Epic of Gilgamesh is somehow more consistent than the Bible.
It is actually. It actually is historically. It actually is. That's true.
I think if monkeys wrote something, it would be more consistent than the Bible.
That's actually also true. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, see, I only bring this up because, unironically, I suppose I'll come out of the closet here, is that in the sense that I'm going to go to a Mormon church service today/tomorrow in like 12 hours. And I noticed that this website has a skeptic version of the Book of Mormon. So I kind of want to read the Book of Mormon through this website. I mean...
Now, why would you go to a Mormon church tomorrow?
I'm sorry, guys. Give me just one moment. I got to admit, I had my beard trimmed today, and I'm like, damn, that shit looks good.
Woohoo!
Damn.
I mean, to answer very quickly to James,
Get a little face thing going on the sides of my head now. I'm like, oh man, all right, I'm good now, man. I can see a barber. Shit.
The only religion I haven't given a chance, rightfully, is Mormonism.
So you're going to give him a shot?
Yeah, I'll give him one shot. I give him 3. I'm starting to give religions 3 shots. I gave Buddhism 3 shots. The only thing bad about Buddhism is I got to become a vegetarian, which I wouldn't mind being vegetarian. I really wouldn't. I'm trying to actually become vegan.
You're gonna have a really hard time. You're gonna have a really tough time with any of this stuff. Nickel, am I saying that name right?
Yeah, don't worry. Or you can call me Tara too.
Tara, you're gonna have a really tough time getting what you want from these various things you're looking at.
I mean, That's fair, but at the same time, as a social being, even with COVID, I'll put on a mask and talk to people, even if it is
I like
about
it.
fantasy.
You know, I did it for many years. You know, I like it. I like the fact that you're doing it. You can see it for yourself. You can feel it for yourself. You can hear the people talking for yourself. I like it, man. It's a great idea. You know.
Yeah, I'm glad you think so. Especially
Yeah.
since I'm agnostic, so I like to be friendly.
100%. I would advise it for anyone. You know, if they're willing and they want to, I would advise it for anyone. Yeah, for sure.
Welcome aboard.
I'm aboard.
I mean, I'm agnostic as well. You know, I mean, I'm a pagan, so you know, like so I'm there with you. You know, so that's what I'm saying. Like, I would advise anybody to go look into all this stuff. I think we still haven't gotten through the chapter summary yet, but
We can finish that.
but yeah.
James?
What's that?
Oh no, you guys were doing fine. I was doing something anyway. And so, all right, we're gonna ramp up. So it's the book of Genesis, chapter 46. We'll go in reverse order. Let's start with you, Tara. What were your thoughts on what we read tonight?
Basically read 36 verses of nonsense. Let's start with that. Okay, I'll be charitable. Even though Christians made me mad today, I'm gonna be generous and try to look for some light in my soul. I think that I've always said that one of the few books I've liked generally was Genesis. You just happen to skip the part where I did like Amy, the part of creation, even though I never take it literally. I personally like to think that you gotta admit, God created a planet or universe in 7 days. That seems like an accomplishment of varying levels of success. Now, I don't believe it. I think that, gravity exists. But you know what? To God, I give him props for, his first thing in his dark universe to come up with. Let's give us a nightlight so we don't feel afraid at night. And I think that is actually, unironically, quite sweet. As for this, not really too many comments, other than the fact is, as usual, in Genesis, everyone talks about their large families. I don't know why, but irrelevant.
There's actually
All right.
meaning behind the large families. Yeah, there's actually meaning behind that.
And that's okay, because KOC, what were your thoughts on tonight? Anything we read, or just in general?
Just
I actually
on the
want
large.
to contrast, if you don't mind, KOC.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, in Mesoamerican culture before Spanish conquest, it was clear that we didn't, come up with Christian, sort of values and stuff. Aztec families and Mexica families from basically any tribe of Nahua, they were a lot more, for lack of a better term, they were kind of more fission. It's like you had your immediate family, your father, your mother, and maybe your immediate siblings. But obviously you had your tribe, as pretty consistent with Native American tradition. Your tribe is like part of your, family, as it were. And Christian family, in particular, in contrast to what I would consider my quote-unquote ancestral family, the big contrast is that they clearly don't. The one thing that they share in common is that they value quote-unquote family values, as at least what they claim. It just so happens that those family values are vastly different. The Aztecs believe that, if you were a male, family values were you became a warrior. If you were a female, your family values were you're a farmer. In Christian, your family values were, surprisingly, if you're a male, you were a warrior, and if you're a female, you were basically, so I hate saying this, not PC, but you're basically property and basically subject to the man's opinion of what you ought to do, because, of course, feminism has not hit the Middle East yet, unfortunately. We're 2,000 years too behind. But yeah, you can finish your anecdote. Hopefully it's longer than my tiny little rant.
Maybe we should go through the chapter first, and then me and you will come back to that.
Sure.
Because there's a couple things that I would say that I believe through study are wrong with what you just said. But I think maybe we should finish with the chapter first, and then maybe me and you come back to that afterwards. Is that okay?
That's possible. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, as far as the chapter goes, I mean, we've got this boy named Joseph, who's the prodigal son, because God likes to pick out those prodigal sons. They can be fucking one or they can be 10 sons. It doesn't matter. And then God picks out the one he wants to be the mythical one. And, he always gives them something, crazy, and they move forward with it. And in this case, he gives them a magical carpet ride, So he's fucking Aladdin. This motherfucker is Aladdin, except that he falls through his carpet into a fucking hole. And then Daddy bails him out, in the form of an Egyptian. And shatters them with riches. He gives them the great life, so on and so forth. And one thing I will say, Tara, that kind of contradicts something you said a minute ago, without going too deep. When there is something that states, you have a big family. A big family is a notation of riches. It's a notation of like you're wealthy enough to take care of this many people, right?
Right.
And so it's a notation to say that, hey, this person is beyond a peasant or a commoner or whatever terminology might be used. They're kind of at least up into the middle upper class.
So, like, to put it in like a steelman Christian parlance, they're basically the caregiver. I'll provide for your wealth, your housing, maybe food, stuff like that. I'll basically keep you safe.
Yeah. And then furthermore, God obviously makes sure that Joseph here gets a little more than that.
Lucky him.
God obviously makes sure that Joseph here just ends up with all kinds of crazy goodness. He's basically, if you were to look at historical evidence, if I were to ever accept Joseph as even ever being someone, as even a human ever, more or less a god, as the Egyptians would have had to have taken him. If I were to have ever even accepted that, then I would say that there would be a lot more written about this guy. He would have had a real status quo. If he actually had the status that was placed on him, he probably would have been fucking killed. He would have probably actually been like killed, sacrificed himself. And all
been political prisoner.
And he would have been buried with the guy that he was serving under, because he was part God with this gentleman. And so with this all said, we're coming up with another big giant story that doesn't actually have any historical backing. There's no archaeological evidence to show that any of this stuff exists at all. We have a really grand story, and then I have to ask, like, what? When I look at the Old Testament, sometimes I say, what is the point of this story? Why did you even need to tell this story? Like, why can't you sum this stuff up a little bit? Like, maybe bring your good bits. Maybe if there's like a real PC culture, bring all of your good bits together. Make it like, 5 chapters. And this is the Old Testament, because that's modern. That's been the tradition since a minimum of 800 AD anyways. We just keep shortening up and shortening up the Bible. And since 1611 with the KJV, we've done that more than ever. So why don't we just go ahead and, hey, get break, people. If anybody's listening, go ahead and take this whole Old Testament thing and make it like 5 chapters, And then this whole New Testament thing, make it like maybe 2.5, 3 chapters, And then we can all read this in like fucking 4 days, like we're reading fucking Tolkien. And it might even make more fucking sense. It might even make more sense after that. Because right now, we're reading some shit that in by the next 3 chapters, we're going to throw all of this back under the bus. None of it's going to matter anymore because we just broken all the fucking rules by the next chapter. And everything you just told us to think about is going to go out the window, and we've got a new set of rules now.
I think
So maybe we go with that. You know, I don't know. That's the best advice I can give to Hebraic people. But as far as the verses in the book goes, you know, we're going to take all this shit and we're going to throw it under the bus. Like, who cares?
I mean,
Because it's not going to make sense. Within a couple chapters, it's not going to make fucking sense anymore.
I think that like one of the reasons why I become attracted to James and Amy is because James is rather scientific and rational. As with Amy, when it comes to their critiques of Christianity, that's how I keep coming back here. I'll pass it down to James with like a sort of question and partially a sort of like I guess you could
That's
say
smoke from incense, y'all. It's not from anything else, just incense.
Don't worry,
Got it.
I'm actually vaping right now. I'm openly a sinner, but it's I like to think that so like let's look at it pragmatically. You know, I doubt we'll find any archaeological evidence for what we just read, and mostly because I think that while epistemologically speaking, this is where it gets tricky. But if I had to like put like my foot in a camp, I would say that like this particular scenario just seems extraordinary, even by biblical standards. You know, like whenever you look at like the concept of like, you know, in even like a baseline level of like the relations with Egypt and the Levant.
Hey, Tara, I don't. I'm really very, 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 very sorry. I promise. But I don't really. I know this sounds so abrupt, and I know it sounds so rude. Right?
It's okay, OC. It's okay. James, did you want to? Did you have any last thoughts? So, what did you think? In fact, Skeptic Bible Study, Joseph's big reveal. What are your what were your thoughts?
Well, I think I heard KOC talking about trying to just figure out like what the hell is going on here, and what you're seeing going on here is actually our good buddy, the preeminent physicist of our day, Otangelo, brought that up with us a few streams back, where he says that God is doing this for his glory. So God needs to get his people in Egypt so that he can then go rescue them, and they can all love him for rescuing them from a problem he caused to begin with. So this is like if this is like paying somebody $50 to try to jump you in a parking lot so you can impress your girlfriend, and of course, you know, you're easily able to fight him off, and you tell him, "Get the fuck out of here, I'm going to kick it." He goes running away, so you look like a badass. So same thing with like the tree. God had to put man in this perilous position so that he can ride to the rescue as Jesus and die on the cross, because otherwise, where would the fun be? So yeah, people going to Egypt, and then God's going to have to come and save the day and rescue them. Praise God.
Woohoo! All right.
Very quick
Well,
aside, but I just want to say there's a word for that. It's called conspiracy.
Yeah, it's God conspiring with himself, about himself, to fuck himself.
Maybe he's...
Things happen, man. Things happen. You know, there's a lot of fucking going on around here. We got asses and sacks. I mean, things are gonna happen.
Axe and sacks. And okay.
Stuff is gonna happen.
Stuff
Bring
is
us
gonna
home,
happen.
Amy. Do
So
it.
I want to thank James W., KOC Champ, Nicola Terra, Oz, Titan Uranus, Jay Mixon, Randolph Richardson, Ian Davenport, Aunt Jer, Iron Charioteer, Robert at the Cross, and Doorknob. I hope you all had an awesome night tonight as Joseph sent everyone on an adventure just so he can have the next best thing since a gender reveal party. Don't forget to like and subscribe, along with hitting that all button icon so you could be part of our live streams. I'm Amy Newman. We'll be heading over to Discord after the stream, and I'll see you all on the next episode of Skeptic Ball Z.
Good night, everybody. Adios.
Good night. Sodomy.
Adios.